times of day and weeks that you're there. School actually, the action level we use is 3,000 nanograms per cubic meter. Okay, so it's a little bit higher because you're not there all the time. I did not see anything on any child that was even higher than 3,000 nanograms per cubic meter. Now, some of the stuff that we're seeing today, the backpacks and the books and the shoes, they're certainly higher than that. So the fact that we were able to take the backpacks and the shoes and expedite that and get the kids home safely as soon as we possibly could, considering the volume of kids we had, is great, because I'm already sensing with what I'm seeing today that there is a percentage higher than I would have expected of backpacks and shoes that are above 10,000 nanograms per cubic meter. Okay. So we don't want to bring those home, put them on your carpet. You would take your vacuum cleaner, you would vacuum that carpet. You maybe take those clothing that they're wearing and put it in the washing machine and share it with other clothes that you put in those washing machines. So the more due diligence that we were taking to prevent that from happening is why this process can be so long at times. I don't know who to choose first, so.
Well, it's general. We thank you for the science lesson. You gave us the end result. Okay, go back to the beginning and tell us what happened.
I can't.
That's why we don't want to talk to you. We need them first.
Okay, hold on one second. Hold on one second. Hold on. Hold on one second. Okay. I'm Captain Young. I was there with most of you guys last night, so hopefully you guys have yelled at me enough for all week. Okay, I'm going to go by and get as many questions. I'm going to start with this one. So the question was, how did this begin? Can everybody hear me? Okay. So yesterday during an 8th grade assembly, a teacher noticed kids were playing with a substance. She didn't know what it was at the time. She knew that it was out of the ordinary, whatever they were playing with. She made notification to the principal. This is about a little bit after 11. Once again, I'm Captain Young. This is a little bit after 11. Okay. The principal got involved. Principal made notification to the fire department. Fire department came out along with their hazmat team. At that time, they said this is Mercury. At that time, they brought out and suggested that the EPA come out. The 9 students involved, along with the administration, were put into a small containment area. Initially, we that there would be a quick in and out, that we would come and do the decontamination or do the screening. Those 9 people plus the 3 administrators, that it would be over and done. I came out and spoke to you all and said that we should be done, we should be ready to go by the end of school. That was our understanding, that was our belief at the time. When they screened those 3, I'm coming to you, when they did those students along with the administrators, they saw levels. They said, just as a precaution, let's check some more of the school just to make sure that there aren't any more levels. As they started going around, they started noticing that by classrooms, by areas, there were levels that they had some concerns with. At that time, they said, regroup, let us start checking all of the other students. Now remember, this was a part of assembly, so kids were in the gym as a part of an assembly. So a lot of the 8th graders at that time may have walked through, may have handled, may have played with, passed around the substance. We don't know. So they decided that they would screen all of the students just to make sure that the kids weren't walking around with the substance on their shoes. Now, let me ask you all this question. Don't answer, just think about it in your mind. If we had done nothing, we did no screening and assumed that it was only to those 9, and something happened where your kids came home with a substance, you'd still be upset. So if we erred on the side, listen, we erred on the side that let us do something. Now, remember that we were there as a part of the process as well. It was a long day, long night for all of us. We understand your frustration. I wish there was a way to say that we could have done it quicker. And if Randy will kind of indulge me, we can show you what the process is. And so you guys can see that if you want to see that. If not, we'll keep pushing, okay? Hold on one second. Okay, so here's some more questions down front. I heard your question here. I'll go to this young lady right here. I answered your question. You asked about the beginning. I'm sorry. Your question is.
My question was from the EPA. How do we know that the levels were safe? You wouldn't release the levels to us. I asked several people from the EPA to give me the levels for my child. because she was contaminated. Supposedly. You
Okay.
did not release those levels. They told me I had to call the school district. I called the school district. The school district told me I had to call the EPA. So why are we getting sent around and not getting any answers?
Unfortunately, we did not have the information as law enforcement. Hold on, let me finish. As far as law enforcement. And what they gave was, I don't know if you can give a range for safe level. Let me ask you a question. Let me help.
He just gave a range for safe
Okay.
level. I wanted to know my child.
Okay.
My specific child.
Okay. Okay, so
I can't take your word for it.
Okay.
Why don't you have it? How did you release her without having enough?
Okay, so let me answer her question. So the question was, without a specific reason, let me answer. Without a specific reading, she wanted to know why kids were released. Once they were screened, if they saw any let me answer. Trust me, I'm getting there. Once they were screened and they were decontaminated, they were rescreened. If they met the minimum level, they were released. We did not record each specific student. I'll say that. We did not record every specific student. That didn't happen. What's the minimum level? 300 nanograms per cubic meter. That's Greek to me. Okay? I have a couple of you that are asking. I'll come right to you next. Okay? I have one more gentleman. I'll say once again, no, EPA is right here with me. So,
because last night they told me I need to ask them and to call the school district. I don't want to speak to the fire department. I want to speak to the EPA.
Well, let me just take a stab at it real quick.
I don't need you to take a stab at it. I want to speak to the person who knows.
And my people were the ones that were doing this all the way. So here's you. Here's, I'm not sure she wants to answer. So, but you folks who might want to answer. When we look at it, you raised a good question as far as why did you report the individual number 3? What we did, because if we had gone through, you guys want to give an answer or no? You want to give an answer? I'm hungry. Don't you want to hear the answer? There's a few reasons why we didn't actually capture data for each student. A, it's health information. I can't capture it personally. I can't do it.
Are you not a representative for the EPA? That's why I'm asking you.
We did. Okay. All right. All right. So just one second. So here's how we're trying to work this tonight. We have individuals here, and unfortunately, you may not like the response that you're getting, but it is the response. So to answer the question, there were not any specific recordings of each student that had a level. The information that was given at that time by me or anybody else was that there would be information follow up. Specific readings, that I do not know. Okay. It's misinformation. Misinformation, that's all I can say. It's a situation that happened, okay? And I understand that, okay? All right. So I have one other question here. What's your question, sir?
The reason why the backpacks and shoes are now at an elevated level, is that because they've been exposed to the vapor for a longer amount of time?
So like
So like I mentioned, mercury likes to vaporize, especially heat.